3 weeks into the NHL season, and the Avs are already approaching 50-man games lost. Tampa Bay has lost exactly one. Let's start the pregame show. Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. This is the DNVR Avalanche pregame show, presented by Coors Light. We got Rudo coming to you live as the Avs are taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. This is a rough lineup for the Colorado Avalanche. Ross Colton is, in fact, a broken foot, as we suspected, out 6 to 8 weeks. But Miles Wood also out of the lineup, injured. The Avs are now down 6 top 9 forwards, if you include Nichushkin and Landeskog. The lineup today includes TJ Tynan, called up from the Eagles, Oliver Shillington playing forward, and Capo Kakinen in net. It's not pretty. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, I mean, everything you just said is exactly what's going on, obviously, and I was waiting to get here in studio to really announce it live here during our show. I had talks with Chris McFarland late last night.
They might need you, buddy.
Yes. I mean, they were down to asking me to play. Had to pass the physical first. Did not pass the physical. So, unfortunately...
The shoulder flared up on you, bud, or what?
Yeah, I did not pass the physical. So, unfortunately for Chris and Coach Bednar was really the one that was really pressing for my my presence back in the lineup for the Ball Arena fans. You'll be disappointed, but yeah, it's not going to come to a fruition. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it feels like that it's down to. I mean, it's down to making jokes like this because it's not normal to be down like that.
Yeah.
And it's, the good thing, I don't know if it's a good thing, but at least the back end is intact. You know what I mean? And your goaltending is intact in a sense, injury-wise.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to have them all pile in, might as well all pile in up front. I think you asked any coach, they would tell you, like, yeah, let's get him coming. You know what I mean? Nobody wants injuries. Nobody wants. I mean, again, you got to feel for Ross Colton. You know what I mean? Like, hey, listen, he's having a career year, and then all of a sudden this happens, and you feel for anybody. Yep. But when those you do the right thing, you block a shot, and you know what I mean. And next thing you know, you're out for probably a couple months. So, anyway, you feel bad for everybody, but it's next man up mentality. And like you said, you got a game to play, you go play, and I'm actually looking forward to it. I do believe good things are happening tonight.
I don't know that I believe that necessarily, but I want to. I want to. Look, let's start here. Capo Kakinen getting his first start with the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah.
Trial by fire, buddy. You're going to have to step in, and for the Avs to have any chance tonight, he has to play well. It's not... Poor goaltending is not a problem the Avs can survive with this lineup.
Yeah, and again, I'm going to say it again. I was excited. As you guys know, from last year, the deadline is kind of pounding the table a little bit for them to go get them. I am a fan. And again, I still will be a fan tonight if things don't go well, but I do believe things are going to go well. But you're right, trial by fire, because, yeah, there's a lot of injuries. But again, the defense is intact. My problem is more who's coming in. Tampa Bay Lightning is a high-powered offense. We all know, the point, Kucherov and guys like that. This is going to be a big test for him. I don't know. I love it. We saw the tweet there this morning that DNVR Avs we had on there, like the Finnish mafia, you know what I mean? Like Kakinen and Eustace, together. And we all know that Mikko's the Godfather, and you know what I mean. And then there's Uncle Lecky, and there's a
Kivy Ronta's down there somewhere.
Kivy somewhere. Who else am I missing? There's.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting there. We're getting there. There'll be a little bit of a finished lineup.
Yeah.
So I do believe I'm excited for him. I think this is a silver platter for him. I think this is an opportunity that, only comes once in a lifetime. Hopefully he's up to the task. I do believe he will be.
We'll find out one way or another pretty soon here. You guys got together, talked about it for morning skate. Let's hear from Giz and E at Hockey in the Rockies.
Game day from Ball Arena, the Tampa Bay Lightning in town, and it is Gizmo and Big E with your morning edition of Hockey in the Rockies. Weather outside getting cold, a little snow on the 25, buddy. It's hockey season.
Listen, when it snows, it looks like it's the first time of the year. That means it's hockey weather. A big game tonight with the snow. I love it. I predict a fun night at Ball Arena.
All right, well, it's going to be an interesting one as well at Ball Arena. We'll talk about injuries in a second, but the big news is, and you're hockey fans, you're savvy, Kaapo Kähkönen getting his first start in net. Justus Annunen will be the third man out, so we won't see him tonight. Georgiev will play backup. What can we expect, and how big of an opportunity is this for Kaapo?
What's a big? I talk about being a silver platter or spoon, silver spoon kid as a first rounder. This is a silver platter opportunity. What do I mean by that? Playing goalie for the Colorado Avalanche is an outstanding opportunity. What more do you ask for when you're a 28-year-old that hasn't really panned out in the NHL so far after a few stops along the way? I've always liked him. I said it before. I'll say it again. I like Kaapo Kähkönen. I've always liked him, especially in Iowa. American Hockey League is a highly touted prospect for the Minnesota Wild. Ends up here as a 28-year-old. I love the opportunity he's getting. I believe he's going to be ready. I'm looking forward to it. But yes, is the lineup great in front of him? Probably not. But at the end of the day, he doesn't care. He just wants the net, and we'll see. And let's go make some saves tonight there, big fella.
Do his job, stop pucks, that's it. It's pretty simple when you break it down. To his credit, at his conditioning skid up the road with the Eagles, did a great job. Stopped 57 of 62 shots. Obviously, that lineup isn't necessarily brilliant either, but he did his job up there. He'll carry that over down here with the big club.
Yeah, I mean, he'd been inactive for a little bit, obviously, because of the immigration reasons and all that kind of stuff. So I think it was important for him to go see a little bit of game situations. He got that in Calgary this weekend. 2 games, did really well. Now it's time for him to shine in the National Hockey League again, where I believe he belongs in the National Hockey League. Time will tell tonight, and it starts tonight.
Lots of injuries. This forward lineup going to be very different than what you're used to. Ross Colton out for what has been considered and said, quote, a significant amount of time. TJ Tynan comes down from the Eagles up north. He'll be in the lineup tonight. Just your thoughts on this different look forward lineup.
Well, I mean, I think it's just a crapshoot a little bit there up front. You're going to see a little bit of mix and match all over. But, first and foremost, it kind of stinks for Ross Colton. It stinks anybody that gets an injury. But Ross was really having a career start. It stinks for the Avalanche. But, we all know Leckie and Drouin are not that far out. Just not going to be tonight. TJ Tynan comes up, a little bit of a water bug. This guy gets on pucks, and I think he's going to need to get out there and kill the clock a little bit for some of the big boys. I think it's important tonight with their defensive core intact, and it's been a strength all season long. They are one of the top defensive core in the National Hockey League, so I do believe they'll be fine. Kähkönen should be fine. You should be excited. Up front, listen, don't be stupid. Just keep it simple. Don't do like last game. Puck management will be very important, especially when you're thin, and maybe try to take in or cash in your opportunities on the power play and try to win the game that way.
He said it. 6 very strong defensemen for this club right now. Best in the NHL, if you're asking me. That will be a key factor tonight for the success of the Colorado Avalanche in front of their new goaltender, as Kähkönen again getting the start. That's it for Hockey in the Rockies. Puck drop is at 7 o'clock. Make sure you catch Big E and Rudo down in the studio at the DNVR bar on Colfax for the pregame. They'll be doing a watch along, so make sure you're watching our friends at Altitude with the game, and then you got the boys on, and then of course we'll have the post game for you. I'll be here at Ball Arena giving you all the updates as they happen. Tampa Bay, Colorado, tonight from Ball Arena.
Yeah, it's thin. It looks like Ivan probably going to get the starting call on that top line. We'll see how long that lasts, but good for the kid and an opportunity for him. He's shown pretty okay next to those guys in occasional showing so far.
You'll see the blender.
Yeah,
I mean, right? The blender.
Right. Look, when it chips are down, they're going to put Middlestad up with that top line and basically run
That's what I would do.
But,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Again, who knows? I mean, it's like survival, right? I mean it. I think it's survival, and it's like smart. And then it's like cash in on your power play. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can see it happening. But get some saves, though. You need saves.
You need, no doubt. There's no doubt that you need saves. Through the rest of the lineup, expectations are everything goes.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the bottom 9, you could see just about every single combination tonight.
I think so, and I do believe they don't play till Saturday, so it is a good thing. You know what I mean?
They'll get to rest afterward.
You get to
for
rest,
sure.
and then again, if the game's tight or if they're chasing the game, you there's some guys you might not see. You know what I mean? Not because their play's bad, just because he's going to shorten his bench, and that's just a feeling I have. And I think you'll see a lot of combinations. Kovalenko will be up there. Ivan will be up there, like you said. Obviously Mitzi will be up there, and again, I think it's all going to be situational to the score. But if you're writing down combos tonight, there's going to be a boatload of combos tonight. There won't be a lot of the same.
Some changes on the defensive pairings, too, that I want to get into. But before we do, let's hit your 3 keys of the game. I got to be honest. They better be sticking to the keys perfectly if they want a chance to win tonight.
Yeah, and again, I do believe you got to cash in on your power play tonight. Obviously, I'm not. We keep going with our usual stuff that we don't talk about that in our keys. But key number 1, I'm going to go with traffic jam. The big boy Vasilevsky's been a force to be reckoned with, like, around the league for a long time. He's had his ups and downs a little bit, but you know what? He had a strong performance last game. This is the first game of their road trip. The big cat's going to want to measure up to the MacKinnons of the world, and take his eyes away, get some traffic in front of him. I think it's very important that you get greasy, you get dirty. It's going to have to be ugly tonight. I mean, should we say pizza, right? We want pizza. You go to the triangle right there, Pizza Hut, whatever you want to call it, sexy pizza maybe. Go somewhere where you find the loose bucks and you get greasy, and it's going to have to be ugly.
Eat pizzas, don't deliver pizzas.
Don't deliver pizza. We're talking about traffic jam. Number 2, establish a home dominance. I don't care how many guys are missing. Somewhere, somehow, they got to stop losing games at home. They're 2-4 right now. It's not acceptable. You got to build it back up. And you know what? It would start great tonight if they go against the odds. They're not the favorites tonight at home because of their lineup, because of their injury, but it's the next man up mentality. Right now we have Ross Colton that's out. We have Wood that's out. Next man up. It's an opportunity for people. Be a hero. Be somebody you don't expect, and then get the crowd into it. The crowd knows. Everybody sitting there at Ball Arena tonight knows that there's a lot of forwards missing. So why not give them a little bit of something to cheer for if you're TJ Tynan, or if you're Ivan, or if you're guys like that. And people seem to have a little bit of a love affair now with Kovalenko, right? Because he gives his honest effort. So we'll go from there. So that's what I mean by home dominance tonight. Obviously, you got the last change, so you can control the matchups a little bit, right? And again, when you have a thin lineup, it's pretty important, especially with the thin lineup that they have tonight. Number 3, stingy defense is your best offense. I mean, you got to have that mentality. And when the Avalanche have that championship mentality that they've played with in 2022 and they carried on, obviously, over the Bednar tenure, don't spend time in your own end, and then make their top guys play in their own end. Power versus power. I hope he's going to go MacKinnon versus, Kucherov. I'm hoping that's what you're going to see.
Usually does.
If I'm like, obviously, John Cooper, I'd try to stay away from that. Obviously, if you look at the lineup, you're like, hey, I'm going to try to get away from that, Yep. But, or you're going to be like, you know what, let's go. You guys do your job and let the other guys do their job against the Avs, second, third, and fourth, whatever you want to call
Their
that.
job tonight is survive, basically.
So basically, survive, and in order to survive, you got to be stingy defensively. So I think if you do that tonight, you get some saves. And obviously, the other thing that we never talk about is you cash in on the power play, which they didn't against Chicago. Well, they did the 5-on-3, but I'm talking about all the other opportunities. Pretty poor outcome on the power play. So tonight, do that. We're going to see a big Avs win tonight. I'm excited. And Kako, we trust. I love it.
A couple things I want to get into here. First, I want to answer that Toyota chat from Jeremy. Foodie's hurt, and Olausson has really gone off to a poor start to the season. If they were going to call up a prospect, it probably would have been Nikita Prischapov. 4 points in 5 games and had a good camp. Can do some of that depth grindery stuff too. They didn't. They obviously went with Tynan, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and again, I like him, as you know, and it's such a small sample. He needs to learn a little bit to get down there. It's obviously, if he would have been called up, it's because of the situation that the Avs are in, which is a rare situation. I leave him down there. I love the fact that it was Tynan. I do. I thought Tynan had a good camp. He's a dog on a bone. The guy gets going. He moves. He gets on it. At the end of the day, he's going to maybe play, 6-7 minutes. It is what it is. But you're going to get some intense minutes from him. You know what you're getting. And again, when we talk about it in training camp, when you make a good impression, it usually lasts. And then when things like this happen, like these last couple days, you're the guy that all of a sudden the coaching staff's like, you know what, we want Tynan. You know what I mean? And that's just how it works.
All right, let's get into our stat pack here for this game. I think the thing that stands out here about Tampa is they're scoring at an incredible rate, but they're doing it with efficient shooting. Yeah. They really don't have great shot metrics in game. They don't possess the puck a ton, but they're shooting 4th best in the league. So they're finishing on their opportunities very, very well. The Avs aren't terrible at finishing either. They're doing an okay job of it, but they're going to have to find ways to prevent Tampa from finishing tonight with the lineup that they have. That's just the reality. The MVP candidates, the Avs are going to need MacKinnon to outplay Kucherov tonight to really have a chance. As has been previously mentioned, Tampa is a fully healthy hockey team, and the Avs are anything but that tonight. So this is what it comes down to me. If you want to make all the Kucherov stands shut up forever, Nathan MacKinnon, go out and beat this team tonight. And what can they say? MacKinnon essentially has to beat them close to by himself. Yeah, you have Rantanen and then Makar, sure. But I'll put it that way. The superstars have to beat this team by themselves because there is just not enough help down the lineup, whereas Kucherov has a full team to play around tonight. So,
and Nate, I think, obviously talking about his rest a lot, right? These last couple of years about the way he takes care of his body. So tonight, even though it was a day off yesterday, this morning did not go on the ice this morning. So I love that. That means he's thinking, okay, I need my energy. I'm going to get ready to go. But by the way, I love those graphics. I said it last game. I'll say it again. I love those graphics. I love those numbers. I think this is a great touch by you guys and research by you. And I think it's just important to see those things, and they're fun. And they're fun to compare things, before games. So, But I talked to Brian Engblom this morning, longtime NHL analyst, long time, with Tampa Bay, and he said when they're talking about the power play of Tampa Bay, because of the departure of Stamkos and then Gensel coming over, and Gensel kind of playing the same position as Braden Point on the right on PB. He said it's been like a little weird. Kucherov has been going on the other side. They don't know where to put Kucherov, and he said it's funny because teams are looking at each other on the faceoff sometimes, and they're like, "Why is he going there? Like this is not what we looked at on the pre-scout, and this is So he said they're still trying to figure out. So I told Brian, said hopefully they don't figure it out by tonight. Let's make sure they figure it out what to do on the power play later on. Right now, let them a little bit sleep. Let them figure out in a different way. But we all know that these guys can score at 5-on-5. Yeah, they're lethal.
We'll see how it all pans out. Again, I expect Casey Middlestat to get double shifted tonight. Expect Nathan MacKinnon to get double shifted tonight.
And I think Logan's going to get some ice time tonight, too.
Yep, he should be in that top 6. Just the reality of the Avs lineup right now. The other side of this is the defense. Makar and Girard were working together. Taves and Manson were working together, trying to change it up a little bit. Just too many iffy games from that Manson-Girard pairing, I think, so far this season. Realistically, can the Avs optimize with those pairings, or do you think we'll see them go back to what was before?
I mean, I think it's irrelevant in a sense that, some, like you said, they have bad games, they have good games. Then sometimes G does work, right, and Taves works with Manson. So, maybe it works better with the bottom of the lineup, or not bottom, but second line and third lines. They got some good hockey players there. You know what I mean? I was watching Morning Skate this morning, looking at guys like Cirelli and Hagel, and they were in a big meeting with Jeff Blossel, the assistant coach, and it's like those guys are hockey players. I think they love the game. They love the tactics of the game, and obviously the way they play is so important to, again, it's their secondary guys to the Kucherovs and Points, and but I do believe tonight, you're right. Is it going to stick that way? I don't know. Maybe it's going to last 2-3 shifts. I'm talking about on the back end, right? Is it going to last 2-3 shifts? Maybe, or maybe it's longer. Who knows? We'll see.
So we get into our betting segment by Bet365. First, I have a bet for you, Eric. Oliver Shillington, over or under 6 minutes tonight?
I'm going to go under.
I think you might be right.
But is there to score a goal? What is it?
I don't even know. I didn't even look.
I mean, that'd be worth like.
I'm sure it's a
money
lot. I'm sure it's plus a lot. If you want to take a wild gamble on that one.
Why not?
My pregame picks with Bet365 are never ordinary. I'm taking the Avs to win at even money. Insane to me that it's only even money. It should probably be higher than that. If you want an emotional hedge and take Tampa on the betting side in this one, I do not blame you at all. For the Avs to win, Kakkonen has to have the game of life, basically. I'm taking over 26.5 saves for him. It might have to be more like over 30, realistically. And then I took the parlay, as we've kind of alluded to. If the Avs are going to win this game, it has to be the superstars doing it. So Mikko to score and Nate with 2+ assists at plus 550. Realistically, it's if Nathan MacKinnon and Mikko Rantanen do not produce, the Avs will not win this game. It's just that simple.
I mean, I agree with you, and that's why I bet that one. And you're right; it's going to have to be the heavy lifting from the big fellas.
Yep. Nothing against the guys in the bottom of the lineup tonight. They're good players, but you're talking about at least 4, maybe even 5 guys that should not be in your starting lineup, and most of them should probably be in the AHL if you had a healthy crew.
But you're right. When you think about it, it's like you're going to need goaltending. You know your back end's been solid.
Yeah.
And then if the big boys do the heavy lifting up top, the other guys, you just don't want to be a factor.
Yep.
And when I say a factor, is
just
on
don't
the
lose
wrong
the game.
end.
Just
You know
don't
what I
lose the
mean?
game
Like,
for them. Yep.
You want to be a factor on the it's all good, but just don't be a factor on the wrong side of the puck. You got that? It's a recipe that they can win.
Given the rough lineup the Avs have in front of Kakkonen, does he get more opportunity, or realistically, is this a show up immediately, or you might be the guy that gets cut?
Well, again, I'm going to go back with what have you done for me lately. So I think it's an important game for him, and I think he does well. Then they have a better problem. He doesn't do good, then maybe he is part of the solution of see you later, right? Yeah. And again, I'm not wishing that on anybody, but he's playing a big game tonight. He's playing a big game for his future in the National Hockey League, but also for the future of the goaltending of the Colorado Avalanche. And you're going to say, oh, one game? Yeah, no, one game makes a difference. It does. The situation that they're in, it does.
Every game matters a little bit. I know. Look, if they drop this game, I don't think anyone's going to be all that upset given the lineup you're staring down. But if you win, it's a big win. That can be a catalyzing factor to a season or something like that. Apparently, Shillington plus 2,500
there you go.
for a goal. So
I mean, how can
throw
you
a
not
dollar
put,
at
I was
that?
going to say,
Not?
why
Yeah.
not? Let's put $10 right now. Like, come on.
Might as well. Might as well have some fun with it.
Just so you know, I've seen Brad Hunt over the years score at least 3 goals or 4 goals at forward.
There you go. Shillington's never played forward,
saying.
but let's not talk about it.
But it doesn't matter. Well, actually, he said he's never played, but then Bednar, his presser, said he has, so I don't know. But it doesn't matter. You can skate, get going. He's going to be excited. He hasn't played in a while. Let's go.
Whatever long shot you're taking, make sure when you gamble with Bet365, you use the DNVR 365 code. When you sign up, you get $200 in bonus bets and 2 months of Altitude Plus. So jump in. You must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. You got a score prediction for tonight?
3-2, good guys.
I'm going to give 2 predictions. If the Avs win, it might be 2-1 Colorado.
I like that.
The Avs lose, it might be like 6-1.
Maybe
Tampa.
I don't like that.
I don't think Tampa wins this game close. I'll put it to you that way. I think they either blow them out or the Avs find a way to squeak one here.
I don't know why. I have a good feeling. I had a great feeling this morning at Ball Arena. I felt good. The snow was coming down on the highway. It's a good day for hockey. I do believe that, again, I'm going to push for Kakkonen here. I do believe those opportunities come like sometimes once in a lifetime. It just does. Like everything lines up. And you're there at the right time, and you know what I mean? And you have the right game at the right time. Here's what my dream is. And again, I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm trying to say that they're both Finns. I'm trying to say that kind of the same age. Mika Kiprusoff back then ended up getting his opportunity in Calgary. I'm just saying, came from San Jose. And it was more like, everyone was like, whatever, Kiprusoff, yeah. And all of a sudden, he was their starter for 10 years.
It happens that way sometimes.
Again, he's Finnish. I don't know. I'm pulling for him. In Kako we trust. Capo. Sorry.
Kakkonen.
Kako Kapanen. Is it Capo?
Capo.
Kakkonen.
Yeah, there you go.
And they got the weird things on the O's or E's or whatever. Whatever. I'm French. I know we have the, but they have the dots, them, Finns. The spelling.
Oh, the dot.
You know what I mean? Like they got the dots
look,
on the.
Bring our bet graphic back up. Tiff even did it.
Did you do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't. I forget he can't. The dots are there. In Kakkonen's
okay,
name.
perfect. That's what I meant. Like, because me in French, like the dot. My name's got a dot. I mean, it's a.
It's not a dot, right? It's the like apostrophe, whatever.
So my name would be this way. No, the other way.
It goes like this, right?
But then it's dots on their names, like on the A's and O's, and like you saw on the graph.
The dot. P.S. The dots stand for like the hard sound of that letter.
Is that what it is? Yeah. I'm assuming that's
like
what
it's a hard O sound.
Yeah, so
over
9E, it's a hard E. You know what I mean? Eric.
That's not a hard E. That's the opposite of a hard E, but that's okay.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Anyway, look. Keep your expectations low tonight. If they win, it's a bonus to me, really, given the injuries that they're facing, given that Tampa's as healthy as they are. The hope is Lecky will be back Saturday at this point, I think, and then maybe you can start feeling a little bit more reasonable about your lineup. But
I mean, the good thing, too, from this morning is I did see Jonathan Drouin.
He sounds like he's not that far off either.
I like, again, he's doing a skills practice with Toby Peterson and Lecky and Eustace that was getting to work before everybody else. So, but it's like, man, he's looking good. I understand it's a pain tolerant thing, and who knows. I mean, you're assuming it's somewhere. We're not going to play Dr. Google here, but obviously if he was ready, he'd be playing. What I'm trying to say is I was encouraged to see what I was seeing. He was really pushing it. You can tell some guys when they're out there, it's just like la 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 la. Like he was actually pushing it. He was sweating. He was doing good. He looked good. So I wouldn't say that he's weeks away. I would say he's,
days away,
closer away.
They dropped him to day, which means whatever.
But. So that's again. But he looked good. My own eyes saw him, he looked good.
Yep. All right. Well, we can wrap up the pregame show there. There's not much else to say other than watch whatever this ends up being for the Avs. So we appreciate you following with us. Come join us for the watch along. We are also only 1,500 subscribers from 100K, so hit that subscribe button. That helps us a ton. And at very least, join us for the post game tonight after the game, where we'll break down whatever this mess ends up being. We appreciate y'all. This has been the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by Coors Light.
We all silly like the mayor.